Hi there, back again. So this is the last video I'm planning to do with the patchwork. However, if there's anything you want to see or any other questions and it gives me enough to do another video, then obviously leave them below. And if I can do another show with the patchwork, I will do. It's at the moment, I think, hopefully over these last few videos, I think there's 4 or 5 now. Hopefully that will have given you some ideas, and then it's for you to take that forward and do whatever you like. But saying that, if there is anything else you want to see with that, let me know and I can squeeze them in and do some extra videos. So it all lies, I'll leave it all up to you. So first of all, I want to do the colour chart again. I adjusted my machine, I notched it up by 20 degrees, and so this is the colour chart. This was I've increased the heat on here, so it just shows you how rich these colours are. So I'm going to hold this a bit closer. Right, so I'm going to read down from here and show you the colours from there. So here we've got black, hot pink, orange, lime and red. So they're the colours that you'll get out. This is a 50-50 polycotton mix here. So they're what you should be aiming for on those. So the centre, we've got yellow, aqua, burgundy, ultramarine and blue. There. The last column, we've got violet, cobalt, navy, green and brown. And then here we've got the gold, a lovely rich gold that is there. So as you can see, they're the sort of colours I've got with the temperature of 380. If you're using an iron, about 5 minutes, and if you're getting a patchy result, what you need to do is you need to keep the iron moving. You know, you don't want to keep going like that because then you're not getting the heat in one area. So let's say, for instance, this is your piece of fabric. You've placed your piece over the top. Now I recommend a little bit of masking tape or something like that to hold it down on your surface. Then cover that with either a heat-proof mat or some grease-proof. And then do your iron like this. I'm going to do some, I will do another video with an iron just to show you. You need to evenly heat up. So say, for instance, you're getting a lot more heat on this edge than this edge, then you're not going to get an even colour result over the entire surface. So as I say, this is on a 50-50 cotton. I'll say it again, if you change your material, say you've done one project, just cut a little bit of your fabric off on the off the edge of your fabric before you start your project. You know, maybe a little bit like this. And then take a piece of copier paper roughly the same size, paint a little patch of each of the colours that you're wanting to use on your project onto the copier paper, and then press it onto the fabric you're going to use for your actual project. Because some of the mixes you can get 60-40, there's some high polyester fabrics as well where you get, I think I've seen 76-24. So obviously they'll all take the colours differently. So I always recommend, if you're doing a big project, get a little bit of the scrap fabric that you're going to use for that project and just do yourself like a mini colour chart. You know, it doesn't even need to be that big. I mean, you know, if you're using 2 or 3 colours, a piece sort of that big will give you an idea. And it just gives you more of a definite result of the colour that you're going to bring. So that's your colour chart. I always recommend that because, you know, it's a couple of extra minutes and then you're going to get exactly the effect you want or expect. And if you don't forget you can mix the colours. So, you know, if you've got the blue and the yellow, you can make your own different greens. Actually, I just want to show you this here. I haven't got a line that's out that I've just painted onto some fabric, I don't think. Right, so here if I put those both together so you can see. So side by side there you've got your lime, which is here, and you've got your green, which is there. Now you can see there's a definite difference between that, but this is nowhere near as dark as it comes out on the paper, so don't think that you're going to paint the colour on your copy of paper and that is the colour you're going to get, because it isn't. It's nothing like it. For instance, I mean, a definite one here is the aqua. I mean, the aqua comes out, I can actually show you that because there's some heat left in this one. So this here is the aqua. That's the aqua on copy paper, and then that is the aqua onto my fabric there. What's another good one to show you? Well, they're all really, I mean, the lime, I mean, obviously is a lot lighter there now because it's heated through the colour, so a lot of that's been transferred over. Something interesting I'll show you in a little minute, but you know, that I think a few people have said, you know, oh, I don't want to use that, it's far too dark, but the difference is amazing. I mean, that is the green, that is the lime, and yet lime from the bottle looks as though it could be almost a black. So that's why I recommend doing a colour chart. Don't think that you're going to get the same colour that comes out of the bottle. Alright for that. And just to let you know as well, this was just one coat of the black as well. It's not two coats of the black, it's just one coat on the copy of paper. So that's that. So we'll start off first by going over what I did last time. So last time I did 3 blocks with you. In the last video there was this one, which is, I can't remember what they call it, I think it's called the 6. Well, anyway, what I've done is it's half square triangles, so I've done the 3-inch square and cut that directly in half. What I do to do that is I get my ruler, I get my 3-inch by 3-inch square, get a ruler and a pencil and just mark away the half square, and then just cut it up and then do my rearranging. But I did show you that on the last video if you go back. So that gave me this. So here I've literally just done the 6-inch blocks printed directly onto there. So that's the 6-inch blocks, and then I've just stitched the 6-inch blocks together. Now they almost have 1/4 inch seam allowance everywhere but this one. So that gives you that result. The next one I did was again half square triangles, and I did that design, and I did that also in the orange and the blue, and that gave me this. No, sorry, beg your pardon, that's aqua. This one was aqua with the orange. Now it shows you how much I don't know about quilting, because if you hold this, now which way did I see it? Oh, look there. So here, there, where they're joined together, it gives you the same design as that. So I assume that this design will be somewhere here. Oh, it is, look there. So that's there. So, you know, I am new to quilting, the same as you, and this is why I wanted to share this with you, because it just shows you how many different things you can come up with just using these are just the half square triangles that I've used for those. So those are those two. And the next one I did, this was also aqua. I've used my stamp, one of the stamps from Sqaures. Yeah, Such a Card stamp, and the aqua, and then I've used the aqua 3x3, again a 3x3 panel. And then this gave me, I did that 4, and then I've stitched those together. This is the great bit, you know, I mean the points are perfect. Obviously here they are because I've lined them up, but you know the points are great, so I'm really pleased with that. So that's the third piece. Just quickly recap over what I have done so far. So this was the one I did with the jelly plate, and this one I am going to show in more detail, because some of these batik-y type panels are just, they really are stunning. So I've got that. Going back to this one, sorry. So this one I've done the stitching down each line, so it does look more quilted, but it still is only the 4 panels that I've stitched together. So I've only had to do 4 6x6 instead of row 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 your boat. So that's that one. This is what I really want. This is what I'm really excited about now. I have to see which one's which now. Oh dear. No, I tell a lie. Right, so this was another block, but I did 2 of these. So again, this is just using this time marbling, which is a mixture of aqua and the blue, and then this is just the blue on its own, blue plain square. So I've done 6x6, again, done it like that. So this is quite straightforward. Now this is my second piece. Now what I did was I took the panels again and I put them together, and that is print number 2. So I'd used this already, and you can see the difference in colour, but I've reused the blocks. So this is the same colour, but this is a second print. I was running really low fabric, so I was a bit umming and ahhing whether to do it, because I didn't want to waste a whole piece of fabric if it didn't work. But that is the second print. You can't probably tell just as much as I can, but this is a real deep colour, this is a lot lighter. So if you've got some spare fabrics, do try and do a second print. It's well worth it, because I got a lot out of that, and also out of my other, I'll show you again on this one actually as well. Now this one I've started to go together. So here I've done 2 pieces of marbling in the middle, so that is I have to work out how much. Sorry, I should have thought of this, shouldn't I, before? So it's like 2, 4, 6, 8. Right, so in the centres here I've got an 8-inch square piece of marbling, which I just did on a piece of 8x A4 paper, plain marbling. And this is what I'm going to show you today, how I've done this. Now on this one you can tell, because this is my first print there, and then I reused it to save me having to do another one. You can tell more in real life, but you can tell on the camera, I think. This was my first line, and then this I just popped in a second time, and that's given me, I think you'll agree, if that's on a quilt like that, you're not going to notice. I mean, obviously, you know, if it's I'd give it a go, you know, for the sake of a piece of fabric that is what, 2.5 inches by 10 inches or so that way. It's worth it, because you don't have to go and do all your squares again. So with this one, I'm going to use this as my centre of my quilt, and I'm going to do 1 inch of binding just on either edge, so there and there, which then will give me 1, 8, 8, 2, 8, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. That'll give me 24 inches this way, lengthwise, from there to there, which means then I can start adding my other blocks, because at the moment we're 1 inch short either side. So I'm going to do that, so these join on like this. So we'll have a big, I mean, I don't know if I'll get it done by the time I go to Hochanda, but if I do, I'd love to show you the whole thing all together, because we've got hundreds of blocks now. It's like meters and meters of fabric, because it's so addictive. So today I'm going to show you quickly how to do this, which I think by now you know really the rough idea how to do it. So what I've done on a piece, this is the scrap paper that comes off the bottom of my, when I've done one of these on my A4 sheet and I trim it along, this is what I'm left with. So these are ideal for your longer lengths. So here I've done inch by inch squares, and I've marked here 8 because that's what I need, 8 down. So rather than show you all of it, I've done one. So this is literally this piece of paper, and then I've got a piece of marbling here. So I've got my squares cut out here. So I've got the plane, which is the blue, and I've got my marble here, all 1 inch by 1 inch. Just a little dab of glue on each square, like that. And then we go ahead and do our design. So first of all, a marble. You just have to make sure. Now, always line up with these 2 lines. These 2 lines and the square. This on the outside edge, once you get it, will be 2 by 2. You'll get the odd one that's in a little bit in, but that'll be your 2. So you give it a nice 2-inch strip. So that's that. Oops. Now some of these are lovely. You know, when you see them, they're so interesting on your quilt. You know, they really, really are. I mean, you can look through and you can think, oh no, I didn't see that. It's a gorgeous pattern there, and oh, that's really interesting. And it's really lovely when you get it to go on the fabric, and then you start seeing how interesting these patterns are. I suppose you get that with your regular fabrics. You know, if you get a lovely piece of fabric, you're going to get some really lovely patterns. But I think when you've made it yourself, when you've made the fabric yourself, no one else has got that piece of fabric, and I think you see such fantastic things in the little squares. And you can say, oh, you know, I did that. You know, if you're making a chair throw, or I know Mary's wanting to make a pillowcase cover. You know, there's just so many different things you can do once you've made your own fabric. You know, because it doesn't have to be a quilt. You know, you could sit there and get a piece of fabric. I don't know, get a metre square and then just do it in sections, and then you've got a piece of fabric that you can make whatever you like with. I mean, that's another really nice piece. Like last time I showed you one that looked like a lovely roadway in blue. It was really lovely. So that's those done. So that's like that. Let's see if we can show you. I mean, some of these, look at this. And look at that as well, because you get a real dimension in these marblings. You know, it's almost like, you know, in the earth, you know how it goes like that, and you get all the stratification and everything. It's just really lovely, and you get those in every colour. You know, here I've used the blues because that's the theme of my quilt is the blues. So I just blues and then a splash of orange. So that's that, and then we've got, you know, obviously you do them different lengths depending on your project. So this one, you know, obviously I joined that up so that it gave me a square like that. So I've got a piece of fabric here. Yeah, got a little bit of fabric there. Press is ready. So let's pack this up. So, little piece of fabric. Yeah, I'm on my last little ditch bits of fabric now. God, I don't know. Can't believe how much I've used. It's so. Let's use the craft knife. So, piece of quilt, roughly do it so that you've got a 1/4 inch gap around the edge. Place that down there, and we'll pop that in there. So that's on for just that little bit, and then here I've got some other things that I'm going to just quickly show. Look. Oh yes. Oh, I didn't bring it in with me. Oh no, I'll have to show you next time. Right, so I used my retro banner die because when I was at Stevenage, Marion wore her lovely T-shirt. I love the retro banner die. It's something I really do love. She's got the most fantastic T-shirt. She's done with paints, and I just wanted to do it with the inks. So I did myself this design. It doesn't matter which way it goes because it's all, you know, whatever you do. And what I did here was I used each of the paints. Some of them I've used just one colour like here. Some of them I've used the 2 colours, so it's a little bit more 3D, if you like. But that is on the front of my T-shirt, and I did it. So what I'll do a quick video. When I do my next video, I'll pop that in and I'll maybe wear it. And so that's how I've done that. So literally I took my black, excuse me, I'm just going to have to pull a glass of water, drink. Right, so turn that off as well, sorry. Right, so I've used the black card, and I haven't used black card, I've used white card, used the black heat transfer paints on it, turned it, cut it out from the back. Don't use your pintail don't use your pokey tool. Slam, 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 slam on the side, and it comes out, and then you don't get any distortion. So I cut 2 of those out. Well, I didn't. I cut 3 of them out. So I've used 2 full ones, and then somewhere, need some glasses. Somewhere here, I've trimmed down, and I've added 2. So we've got 2 full ones, and then a 2 prong, which you can do with your stamps, but I just wanted to try it with the dies. And then all I've done is I've stuck the different colours on the back. Quick tip, run this through your whatever machine you've got with your embossing mat, as though you're embossing. And then what that does is it pushes all these colours. I mean, this isn't thick card by any means, but if you push it through your embossing folder, sorry, you're not embossing folder, sorry, I'm all over the place. If you run that through with your embossing mat, it will just push those colours in so they have more contact with your item. So that's something that is really exciting. I'll show you that. I loved Marion's T-shirt. I mean, she's done some absolutely amazing T-shirts, you know, which I'm really pleased with. Pleased that she's having fun. And that is the one I've just printed. So then trim down to your 1/4 inch all the way round, and get yourself a little pile of them, and then they're ready. So you can do them any length. If you were doing a smaller one, you could do 6x6, 4x4. You could do them coming out as a block. Obviously, with being 1x1 inch squares, you need a lot of squares, but fantastic result, because I cannot. I mean, a couple of people have said, I bet you could do it. I can't stitch those and get these perfect corners. I'm telling you now, I've tried and tried and tried, and they don't go right for me. I'm not good enough to do it. So for me, being able to do little ones like that is an absolute godsend. I mean, it's just, I'll tell you how much it is, how much I love it, is look, I've got sheets and sheets and sheets and sheets and sheets of them. And not only that, and then I've got them in orange and blue. So I've got orange and blue, more you know, oh, I found some more fabric. Oh my god. I've got 2 bits of fabric there that I didn't know I had. Yeah, so this is what really excited me about doing it when I started playing around, and this is why I wanted to share it with you, because I've got some lovely fabrics and I'm just not confident enough to do it. If I can give someone, one person, the confidence to go out and do something that they want to try or they want to do, and that is what I want to do. So I'm just so pleased I'm sharing it. You know, it is exciting. You know, I do like to help people. I do want them to have fun. So, you know, just something as simple as that, you know, if it's giving you the confidence to have a go, then do. And then you start off, and then who knows, you know, in a few years' time, you might be quilting away. And personally, I can't see myself ever going back to spending a fortune on gorgeous fabrics. Now I can make my own. You know, the world's your oyster, really. You know, when you start messing around with the paints, mixing the colours, marbling with different ones. I'm actually doing an experiment at the moment with fire. That seems to be really exciting. So when I get that perfected, you know, and get some really nice results from that, then I'll share that. Obviously, something I won't be able to share on Hochanda because I think it'd be dangerous. But you know, as long as you know it is a little bit of risk, although you can do it outside. You don't have to do it in your home, so you know, hopefully it's a lot safer. Cool, look at this, it was only going to be a quick video. So then I had to do my rose. This one I did very pale, the inside of the rose. I'm going to do another one. I've used here the lime. You can just see the lime and the green. Just a really subtle marble effect on there this time, because I wanted the rose to stand out even though it's not a really bright colour. I'm doing another one of these which I'm hoping to get on the front of one of my journals, because I'm going to do the journal one next, because I have promised to do the journal video, so I'm going to hopefully do that tomorrow if I get the chance. So that's really nice, and that would make a really nice front of a journal cover, or the centre of a pillow, maybe centre of a cushion. So again, endless, whatever you want to do. So that's me for today then. I think that's all we've got to cover for today. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and hopefully see you tomorrow. Oh no, it won't be tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have done it before this video goes out. Fingers crossed. So take care, happy crafting, and thanks very much for your support. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate all of your lovely comments that you leave below, the messages, everything. So it means it's worthwhile for me to do, just to see that you're gonna have a fun and have a go. So take care and see you soon. Bye.